used to be up rocking, and we used to write graffiti. And my little man TT Rock was up rocking, right? He was up rocking, doing his little circle thing, and he went to do a 360-degree move in the air. And he literally fell to the ground. Really, we was just a bunch of wild kids running around with guns and dancing and doing bad things. And it's amazing how the Bronx Boys graffiti crew to the Bronx Boys rocking crew. Because now we was experimenting these crazy moves that we trying to figure it out, or we trying to come to a solution to see if we can make some kind of a dance out of it. Ironically, by 1976, it started spreading like a rash throughout the Bronx. And before you know it, you had all these crews coming out. It wasn't no breakdancing, no. It was called rock. Why? Because the dance itself emerged from up rock, which is the dance that people used to do back in the day. You know, we used to diss each other, do the little turnaround thing, you know. You flip your man, you got a shotgun, you shoot the guy. It was almost like fighting without the violence. I want to get technical, all the credit goes to the founders of the hip hop culture, which is Afrika Bambaataa and DJ Kool Herc. Whatever they're going through in their little personal terms about that subject, to me, they're both the founding fathers. So I'm not hogging anything up. I talk about our history. We are the Bronx Boys rocking crew. A whole bunch of little wild dudes that used to smoke dust, do bad things, go to jail. This is what the Bronx had back in the days. Whole bunch of burned down buildings and poverty, degradation everywhere. Most of my people passed away, went to jail, and this has transformed into something so amazingly incredible. And I gotta give it, people wanna bow to me, people wanna call me king, and I'm not none of that. The credibility of today TBB rocking crew goes out to you guys, the new generation who took it and ran with it and turned it out into something that's very constructive and that's helping the communities throughout these community centers. And I want to say thank you for that.
Did you have any influences, people who you looked up to?
Yes. In fact, Afrika Bambaataa, you know, the Zulu nations, they fascinated me because be mindful, that was around before TVB. And when I used to go to the Zulu jams, it was just Zulu Nation. The cuts, the mixes, the elbow, you know, everything came into play when Afrika Bambaataa and DJ Kool Herc gave birth to this culture. And we became the supporters of the foundation when we used to go to the jams and start rocking. This is young kids. We used to smoke dust, dance, and just run around like a pack of hyenas. And I can't sugarcoat anything. I got to give it to the people raw to understand that this culture started out with a bad fuse that has turned it into an extraordinary, beautiful energy today. So in 1977, it's been said to me that Afrika Bambaataa forgot this. In 1977, Afrika Bambaataa called me for an interview by the Webster Project going up the stairs. Your words, Afrika Bambaataa, what you said to me in 1977, he said to me, you think that it could be possible that your crew, your people, and my people could combine for the safety of all the little young kids in the schoolyards? So I'm looking at this guy that I've been looking up to for a long time, but never met him, and I'm like, so I look at my two vice presidents and they're like, and I said, listen, no problem. You know, what do you want me to do? I tell him, and he said, just let your people know that from now on, when we see each other in them jams, that we together to look out for one. I said, no problem, Afrika Bambaataa. And that was the last I've heard from him. But most of the time, because we did a lot of bad stuff, but we also did a lot of good stuff that we wasn't credited for. You know, we used to look out for the neighborhoods. You know, the old ladies coming upstairs with their packages, we used to help them up. We used to do good things, but we was at the same time confused young kids who used to know nothing but street life, hanging out in abandoned buildings, robbing anything that we could rob to survive. because a lot of us grew up with problematic, family ties. So if you look in the histories of the Bronx, it's just, especially in the 70s when the economy was so twisted, one of the most hardest time for the Bronx was 1975 when the economy really dropped. You can look that up and it's in the histories. The most people that suffer the most out of the whole New York City, every single young person, older crowds who are involved in this beautiful culture of ours, who are involved in helping their communities through these dance art forms of rocking. And I admire every single one of you guys out there that could do a difference in society. If it's not for 100 people, if we could change the minds of 2 young people and anywhere we go for the better, that's what I expect to do and the people to do through this culture. Help one another, lift one another, learn how to live with diversity, peace, love, unity, and respect. There's no discrimination in my book. Because of the lifestyle that I live, I could relate to practically anything in life. I know what it is to live in a cage. I know what it is to lose loved ones, friends. I know what it is to be beat down by the police. Police brutality was crazy off the hook back in the day. And I'm not justifying anything that's wrong. All what I'm saying by this is that we could all make a difference just by doing something that's constructive and positive and that could coincide with everything around us in a very beautiful way. I just want the people in the world to know, number one thing, this dance name is not breakdance, people. It's called rocking. Do your history. I got over 50 commentaries out there. I put all my energy, all my truthful thoughts to it. Work with me. We could sit down and you might be able to teach me how this started. And I'm saying this not to sound sarcastic, but I'm saying this in a very respectful way. Because if you have another story about how this dance came about, I really want to know. Peace, people. I love you all of us. Peace. 75 here. Fahrenheit 75, baby.